welcome back to another video. Today, it's going to be me, your host, Dobros, talking about one of my favorite shows today. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am a hugest One Piece fan. So today, I decorated my room. Let's go have a look. Welcome back, guys. We are in my room, and today, first up, we have Shanks. Wow, Shanks. So, what is the deal with Shanks? What is his power? We don't know. What does he do in the story? We don't know. What is his role? We don't know. But one thing we do know is that he's an extremely powerful Yonka, one of the highest of the 4 pirates you can possibly be in the current One Piece world. That's right, the dude is badass. Not only that, he has the power to use extreme Conqueror's Haki. Not to the point that Luffy can, but far past it. Whoa, that's insane. Now the next member we have is Sir Sabo. Sabo? Yes! It's Sabo! Can you see him? Yay! Woo! Sabo! He is the number 2 in command of the Revolutionary Army and Luffy's long-lost brother who has supposedly died and lost his memory and then came back years later. Wow, super confusing. The next one we have is Portacus de Asu, Luffy's brother, his blood brother. Now let's take a look. Spoiler alert, he's adopted. Okay, now basically Ace ate the Flame fruit, or the Mara no Mi, and it gives him the power to turn into fire. So, who's up next, you ask? Well, I can't tackle them all on one-on-one, so I'll just say, all the Straw Hats. Yes, I have every single Straw Hat under the sun, including Jinbei. Hi, Jinbei. Wow, so good to see you, Jinbei. Love your show, man. Okay, anyway, next up is the 3 warlords I currently have in my possession. We have Mihawk, Boa, and Law. Yes! Now, Law is with the worst generation, the worst supernovas, otherwise known as the 11 supernovas. That's Law. Law is extremely strong. He ate the Appa no Mi. He can use his medical knowledge to disassemble everybody and put them back together the way they were. He can also pop the heart out of your chest and squeeze it. Scary stuff. The next one we have was Boa Hancock. That's her right there. She is the most beautiful pirate empress in the whole wide world. Her bagongagongs are like out to here. Whoa! She can use the power of the love fruit. She can turn you into stone just by looking at her. And not only that, she can confuse. Yeah, I guess that's the word. She can convince both men and women to join her side because of how beautiful she is and her powers of the love fruit. And then we have Dracula Mihawk, whose power since the beginning of the story has been unmatched by any swordsman in the world. Him and Shanks used to have it out in a duel, and here's my theory on that. Just kidding, I'm saving that for another video. But Dracula Mihawk is extremely strong and the best at using a sword. Super strong, super badass. And that was my room, guys. But anyway, back at you. Okay, guys, welcome back. We are in the hut, as I like to call it here. And basically, what is happening is I introduced you to my room. Whoa, and we saw all the wanted posters I bought off of the Seagulls. Yes, the Seagulls. Yes, I bought them off the Seagulls. So, those were all the wanted posters I own in my collection. However, oh, excuse me. Woo! Smells like gummy worms. The ones I wanted to talk about today were specifically Shanks and Mihawk. What the hell is going on with those two? How did Mihawk become number 1 and Shanks number 2? How did Shanks become number 2? Did he become number 2 before or after losing an arm? And was Dracula Mihawk the number 1 swordsman in the world before or after Shanks lost the arm? Well, I have a few theories. Let's get into this, guys. So basically, what I think happened is that Shanks and Mihawk were very close. But I think Mihawk had the title of the world's strongest swordsman before Shanks did. Yes! And the reason I think that is because Shanks is a little bit younger than Mihawk. So Shanks would constantly challenge Mihawk for that #1 spot to get his name recognized and world-renowned. Now, Shanks was part of Gold D. Roger's crew, but he was not significantly a member of the Gold Roger Pirates. Rather, he was a swabby, or an apprentice, as some might say. So Gold D. Roger had no significant ties to Shanks, as far as we know, other than that they were on board the same ship. That, by itself, is notoriety, for sure, but as we saw with Buggy, it's not enough notoriety to get you a bounty, or to get you wanted, or to get you that street cred from the world government, right? So what did Shanks have to do? Well, he had to beat the best swordsman, obviously! Why would you think otherwise? Why do you think that Shanks wouldn't challenge the world's strongest swordsman to a duel? And who other better to challenge than Dracula Mihawk, who is of a similar age, body structure, and height. Have you ever noticed that? Oda goes out of his way to make them a similar height and a similar depth position as far as the body goes. So, in conjunction, we can conclude that it was a draw every single time they dueled, up until Shanks lost his arm. There was no clear winner between the two, and their skills were on par with each other, meaning Shanks, world-renowned swordsman, for sure, no doubt, he is one of the best. Still, even with one arm, the issue was, I believe Shanks used a rather large sword. I don't think he used the cutlass he has called Griffin. I think Shanks' original blade was Yoru, the original black sword, because why else, unless you lost your dominant hand, which is possible, right? Shanks might have been a dominant righty, I think. Which makes sense, a lot of people are. I think he still has his left arm. I'm a lefty, by the way, guys. But it makes sense that if he had Yoru use two hands, that would make him a more adept swordsman and make Mihawk back off and claim and basically maintain the title of the best swordsman in the world. Right? If Shanks can't hold two hands and Yoru and move at double the speed he could use with one hand, why would Mihawk want to duel him any longer? If Shanks can't move at the same speed because he's only using one arm, because he's using half of his strength. Mihawk is a guy that when he fights you, he wants you 100. Shanks is not 100. Shanks is 50 in that regard. Now that's not to say Shanks can't beat Mihawk in other means, right? Shanks, I'm assuming, just challenged Mihawk to a duel in swordsmanship, in which Mihawk was just the better man. In a fight, Shanks could probably win against Mihawk. Like, all-out fight. Meaning, Shanks doesn't have to use a sword. Shanks can bring anything on the table. But, let me bring this up to you guys. Do you guys remember, during the Don Craig arc with Sanji, when Mihawk first came in, Don Craig clearly states that Mihawk has a Devil Fruit ability. He does. He actually words it a little differently than I just did, but it's fairly clear that Mihawk has some sort of weird power just like his. That's what he used, right? He was referring to Luffy when he said just like his. So he's comparing Luffy to Mihawk in the sense that they both have some strange ability. Now you could always just throw Haki in the mix, great, because we're past that point where you could just Haki at everything, right? That's not the case anymore, guys. That is not the case. Don't keep thinking that any longer. Okay? Because I think Oda's going to do a plot twist. We've never seen Mihawk swim. Ever. How cool would it be if Mihawk's eyes was his devil fruit? What if he ate the Hawk fruit? Right? Because Hawkeye is referring to the actual beast, the bird, the hawk. Right? And the Hawk's power, everybody knows this, the Hawk's power is sight. Okay, so Mihawk may be adept at both armament and observation, but one thing he has that was above Shanks was his observation, right? What if Mihawk's observation Haki was here, Katakuri's was here, and then Mihawk ate that devil fruit to give him the Hawk abilities that put him up here as far as observation Haki goes. Just something to think about, because Oda's design choices are very peculiar when it comes to Mihawk. Now I know the eye thing, right, with Haki where he goes, bing, and you see the two rings, that's fine. But Mihawk constantly has it. So I think it is honestly a devil fruit. Maybe not the Hawk zone fruit, but possibly something more along the lines of a paramecia, perhaps. That allows him to engage in sight where he can narrowly see, because when you watch his eyes during a duel, I remember during Vista, his eyes were opening and closing. If you've ever seen a hawk hunt, their eyes widen and narrow very quickly to catch a glimpse and focus very quickly on a prey that's running away, or a prey that's moving. Okay, so Mihawk may be doing that. Now, to battle this, Shanks may have the ability to control time. But now we know with Hawkeye can dissolute time in some manner, right? So you can actually see into the future with Hawkeye. But vice versa, could you possibly look into the past to predict the future? That's my question with Hawkeye. Anyway, we're getting into way too many paradoxes here. And I don't know enough about time in general to explain anything that has to do with anything. So I'll just cut it off short here. Against Mihawk or Shanks, to put this in perspective for you guys, I think Mihawk is severely undermined because we've seen the other warlords, right? And Luffy beat them before time skip. So that's kind of our power gauge, is what we've been comparing them to. But I would also like to point out to you guys, okay, let's take Moria for example. Moria is not very strong whatsoever, but he took on all of the Straw Hats. Now granted, he did have oars with him, but at the end, he did take on all the Straw Hats and beat them senseless. And Luffy was the last one to take out Moria. But if you guys wanted to compare bounties, right? Moria's only over 300 million, right? Okay. Now add up all the Straw Hats' bounties, priest time skip. Back when Luffy was 300 million. Add that all up, and then compare it to Moria. To gauge power level, it's very difficult in One Piece. What I'm saying is that warlords were special for a reason, okay? They were not weak fish. Crocodile was not a weak fish. He sliced Akainu in half. And Akainu did not take him on head on. Okay? Akainu actually, we didn't even see what happened after he got chopped in half. Akainu kind of just fled. Okay? And you could always create the parallel that, yeah, lava's weakness is actually sand. Because it creates obsidian, which can turn and reform back into sand. But that's not the point. The point is that warlords are not lower tier members. No. Warlords are like tier 4 out of 5. Yonko being 5. The next tier down would be a fucking warlord. Okay, so just keep that in mind, that Mihawk is no joke. And if we were to even go as far to say that Mihawk was the strongest warlord, well then goddamn, that's a strong ass pirate. I don't care who you are, and I don't care what you think, okay? If you're a warlord, you're fucking strong. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're thinking about the duel between Shanks and Mihawk, right? Because a lot of people like to compare, well, Shanks was so strong and Mihawk was dueling him. That's why Mihawk's a warlord. No. I think it was the other way around. I think Shanks gained notoriety from fighting Mihawk. Okay? I think Mihawk is the strong one. And I think that warlord is something we've been taking lightly this whole time because we've seen characters who have held that title get beaten by the main character. But you have to remember the main character had help in every single one of those fights. Luffy would have died 3 times against Crocodile. Luffy would have died once against Moria. Okay, without the help of his crew. He would have died against Doflamingo. He would have died against Boa. He would have died against, God, I don't know, any other warlord. Kuma! You want to say warlords are weak? What about Kuma? He wiped out the entire Straw Hat crew. Single-handedly. Without a doubt. You know, just send them on the moon. Bop, 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 done. Straw Hats are gone. Or just, you know, teleport them in the ocean. All separately. Great. All the Straw Hats are dead. Except for like 2. Great. I'm sorry, 4. Whatever. 5. Jinbei. And look at Jinbei. Is Jinbei weak by any means? No. And in fact, I also make the argument in comparison that Jinbei is possibly one of the weakest warlords there was. Oh yeah. And look at Law as well. I mean, Law, he's up there. He's kind of debatable. But still, I'm talking warlords of 4th tier members. They're not Yonko level, but they're one step down. You know, if they had a few more years on them, absolutely, they would definitely be Yonko level. Okay, so that was my video on the Mihawk Shanks situation. You know, and my take on it. I think Shanks originally had Yoru and fought Mihawk one-on-one and beat Mihawk. Well, I'm sorry, not beat Mihawk, but lost to him and gave Mihawk Yoru. Because I believe Yoru was originally in the possession of the Dark King Rayleigh. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you never miss another video. Anyway, love you all. Take it easy. Duel Bros. Signing out.